Good morning. Good morning. It is Christine here for day 2 of my special series called Moving Forward While Staying Put. And today's topic is all about stepping into self-awareness. So let me start by saying, I know myself and possibly you tend to live your life on autopilot. This was certainly me 5, 6 years ago. I was on this treadmill of life, just going, 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 and secretly begging to get off the treadmill, but I didn't know how, right? So, what does it look like to live on autopilot? We do the same things day in and day out. We think the same thoughts. We have the same conversations with people. The same stories get shared. The same complaints get voiced. And it's this really kind of a stuckness that really happens when we're living on autopilot. And while we're moving forward toward our goals, we're doing it from a place of struggle and excessive hard work, right? So what self-awareness is and why I feel like right now is such a gift time-wise, whether you are quarantined or not, certainly everybody's life right now has significantly slowed down and shifted. And in this time, we're feeling a lot of uncomfortableness because we are not doing the same things that we were before, right? The same morning routine to the gym or the same lunch routine with a business associates, the same meetings, everything's kind of been totally shifted. And as a result, we are feeling a lot of uncomfortableness, right? And that is a perfect thing to be experiencing right now because it is outside the normal routine. So how can you really, I don't want to say take advantage, but really glean the gift from this time? And I invite you to step into self-awareness. So what does that look like? What do I mean by self-awareness? When we shift to live in the present moment, to really be the conscious observer of our life, we allow ourselves to step into self-awareness. So as I mentioned, we've been on autopilot. We have conditioned beliefs, conditioned thoughts, conditioned habits. We don't even realize many times what we're doing is just become part of who we are, right? And a lot of times we even say to ourselves or say to other people, well, this is just the way I am. Yes, it is the way you are, but it's the way you've conditioned yourself to be. So I encourage you in this time of things being shut down or being home or being really shifted in your normal routines to begin or to make a commitment to get into self-awareness during this time for some specific reasons. Number one, becoming that observer, you can then hear the thoughts that you think. And this could be, again, thoughts about your job. It could be thoughts about people. It could be thoughts about the situation. Get in that observer mode and even write these things down would be my suggestion. So observe what you're thinking. Observe even maybe the life that you were living prior to this. What were those things you were doing? What were those things that were going really well? Because you definitely want to continue doing those and acknowledge yourself for those things that were going well. But also be the observer of what things were not going well in my life, right? And that looks like where did you have repetitive struggles, repetitive problems? It could have been in a certain situation in your life, whether it was career, financially, or your health, any area of your life, or where you were continually frustrated even, right? Those are observing those types of situations allow you to be more self-aware of the totality of that situation and helps you to kind of get behind the end result, peel back the layer to see what's going on. What is that belief that I am believing, those thoughts that I'm thinking that are creating this situation. So this is the time to really use the pause that so many of us have right now, that you probably have at least to some degree, even if you still are working. I would suspect it's not in the same way. So set aside time every day. That is my suggestion, to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and pause and just begin to look at your life. Look at the things that you were doing and the results you were getting. Look at the thoughts that you think, and start to write things down. And then once you have a lot of this on paper, start asking yourself, okay, what of these things, thoughts, actions, beliefs, are moving me toward the kind of life I desire? And what ones are maybe holding me back? Or when you observe them, you can see that they're a limiting belief or a limiting thought, a limiting story that now might be the perfect time to actually get rid of. So use this time as a gift to step into self-awareness, to observe yourself. Step back without judgment. That's a key thing that I do want to point out. When you start to observe yourself and what your life looks like, what your thoughts are, what your beliefs are, please do not judge yourself. This has all been, in many cases, beliefs and thoughts and stories that we've been conditioned to believe as true, and we didn't even realize that we were doing this. So as the observer, it's so non-judgmental. Again, write everything down and then ask yourself, is this truly moving me toward the life I desire, or is it holding me back? And for now, that's all you need to do is, and sometimes I found for myself too, simply acknowledging something and being able to observe it and kind of see it for what it is, it's easier to shift and just let it go without a whole bunch of work to let certain things go. A funny little story last night, I was chatting with my son, and he started to not feel well, and he was describing how he was feeling in some very not so mom, in ways that mom really didn't like to hear. And so I repeated what he said, and when he heard himself, he started busting up laughing because he realized how ridiculous it sounded. So sometimes being able to get things on paper or say things out loud, we start to see, oh my gosh, I am really limiting myself in what I think and what I believe. So I encourage you to take, again, 10 minutes, 20 minutes away today, every day, not just today, but every day. As a radiant achiever, you owe it to yourself. It becomes part of a habit to be in this self-awareness mode and to be in the present moment where you can really pause to hear, is this working for me or not? And then to make that shift. So that's my Radiant Achiever tip of the day. I encourage you to take that time for yourself every day, not just today, to reflect, to be an observer, and step more fully into self-awareness of thoughts, actions, feelings, and decide, are these moving me forward or not? I'm sending you much love for a beautiful, radiant day, and I'm here. So please, if there's anything you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments. If there's any that you need support or any questions you have, please drop it in the comments, and I am happy to address it in a next episode. Bye for now. Sending love.